Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. Welcome back. My name is Nora Swaliza Abdullah from Faculty of Information and Communication Technology UTM. In this lecture, we will continue about aggregation topic. Let's look at the lesson outcomes of this topic. By the end of this lesson, we should understand first, how aggregate functions will be implemented if there are conditions in our query. Second, the differences between count all and other aggregate functions. And third, distinct keyword that is used in conjunction with aggregate functions. We will use the book table from the Library Management System case study to perform examples of the aggregate operations in this lesson. Remember that the book table contains records of books which are available in the library. Each book record contains 7 attributes which are ISBN, book title, edition, year published, the quantity of book copies, category book ID, and publisher ID. Now, let's start with the first example. In this example, we will look at how an aggregation is performed when a query contains conditions. In this situation, the condition is applied first to select the records that satisfy the condition before an aggregate function is performed. For example, suppose we want to know the number of book titles published before 2013. The SQL statement contains the where condition to select only the book titles published before 2013, and the count function is applied on the book title column to count the number of rows for the selected records. The results of the SQL statement shows there are 2 book titles published before 2013 in the book table. The slide shows how the aggregate function works with where condition within the SQL statement. First, the where condition is performed to select the book records which are published before 2013. Then, count function is applied to book title column to calculate the number of selected records, which returns 2 as the result. Now, we will look at the difference of count all with other aggregate functions. Apart from count all, each function eliminates null first and operates only on the remaining null values. Count all is a special use of count that counts all rows of a table regardless of whether nulls or duplicate values occur. For example, the 2 SQL statements in the slide will return different results. The first statement counts all rows and returns 8 as the result, whereas the second statement counts non-null values of the edition column and returns 4 as the result. The slide shows the different implementation of count all and count edition. The count all counts all rows in the table and thus returns 8 as the results, while the count addition eliminates null first and operates on the remaining null values. Therefore, it returns 4 as the results. Aggregate functions can be used in conjunction with the distinct clause to eliminate duplicates before the functions are applied. Distinct has no effect with min or max function, but may have with sum, average, or count. Let's look at one example of using the count function with distinct keyword. Suppose we want to know the number of publishers who publish books which are available in the library. The SQL statement shows the distinct keywords is used before the publisher ID column in order to remove duplicate publisher ID values, and thus the count function is only applied to the unique values of the publisher ID. The slide shows the implementation of the count function without the distinct keyword on the publisher ID column. The count operation counts all the rows of the publisher ID column and thus returns 8 as the result. But by using distinct before the column name, the count operation counts the number of unique publisher ID, which are 6013, 6011, and 6012, and thus return 3 as the result. Now let's look at the final example. In this example, we want to find the number of book titles and the average number of copies of a book title available in the library. The query can be implemented by having two aggregate functions in one SQL statement. The statement shows the implementation of the count and the average functions in one select statement. The slide shows the results of the SQL statement, which returns 8 as the number of book titles and 7 as the rounded average number of book copies. The slide shows the implementation of the count and average functions. The count function is applied to the book title column and returns 8 as the result, while average function is applied to the book quantity column and returns 7 as the results. Hopefully, we already understand how aggregate functions are implemented with conditions, the difference between count all and other aggregate functions, and the implementation of an aggregate function with distinct keyword. You may refer to the listed references used for this lesson or any database books to get further information about this topic. In the next topic, we will discuss about grouping operation, which can perform aggregate functions on different groups of data and returns aggregate values based on the selected group. For example, by using grouping operation, we can calculate the number of book titles for each book category. We will discuss this grouping operation in the next topic. So, stay tuned. Until then, thank you for watching and Assalamualaikum.